Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Today we are reviewing one from the House of Hugo Boss. This one is called Bottled. This is my second review from the house. I reviewed XY, if you remember, which was pretty close to straight trash. And that, believe it or not, guys, really the only other fragrance that I own from this house. Now, there are some others that I'd like, to be honest with you guys. Hugo, which, kind of comes in that, canteen bottle. I rocked that one pretty heavy during high school. I believe that to be an excellent scent. I'd be interested in Silk and Jasmine from their collection, their upscale line. I like that one. For the right price, I'd probably pick that up, and I'd like to check out Damask Oud, which I've never smelled, but I've heard decent things about. I'd consider Boss Bottled. I don't know if owning this one makes that redundant, but that's something we can talk about later in the review. So if you're interested in backstory on Hugo Boss, I would recommend checking out the video that I did on XY. But this was a flanker to the super popular Boss Bottled. And this guy was released in 2015. There are too many Boss Bottled flankers to list. And you guys know that when a designer house hits on something, they tend to go flanker heavy on it. And that's really what happened to Boss Bottled. Lots of people love that fragrance, so there are just lots and lots of flankers to it. Now, I picked this one up, 50 ml, my 50 ml bottle. I got it from Notino last year for $58. If you're looking for one of these days, it's available super heavily discounted. In fact, Notino is currently selling 50 ml bottles for $45. This review, by the way, is not sponsored by Notino. This is a cheap fragrance. I wouldn't recommend, I just wouldn't pay more than $60 or $70 for this, and I would pay that only for the 100 ml. If you're trying to pick up a 50 ml, I wouldn't pay more than the $40 or $50 that I paid. Simple note breakdown on this one: citruses and apple at the top, saffron, clove, labdanum, cinnamon in the middle, oud, cypriol oil, and sandalwood in the base, and it's EDT concentration. Now, as far as your box goes, it's black with sort of brown cutout that says Hugo Boss Bottled Oud. Barcodes there. There's some powerful, opulent, 100% natural oud enriched with a Middle Eastern inspired blend of luxurious saffron, cinnamon, and viral woody notes. And there you have some information. The same stuff is written in Arabic. HugoBoss.com. Bottle. Boss Bottled bottle with the oud there, and it's done in dark brown with a gold cap. And the atomizer works pretty good. So, nothing crazy, looks nice, decent presentation, very similar to Boss Bottled. As far as what I think of this fragrance, guys, I think this fragrance is pretty freaking fantastic. When I first got it, I really wrote it off. I derided the fact that Hugo Boss claimed that there was real oud in this. I think I wore this once or twice, and I was like, okay, great. And I wore it a few more times over the fall, and I really started to appreciate this one. And what this is, to be honest, is that Boss Bottled is really this sort of, you've got the Boss Bottled apple, cinnamon, sandalwood aroma. So that's here. That's the DNA. That's the heart of this fragrance. They're being true to the original. And then there's some cypriol oil on top. Now, whether or not there's real oud in this one, I don't know. They say there is. I think it's very possible that Cody, who's Boss's parent company, bought a lot of oud for a good price and decided to throw 0.01% and in a cord load it with cypriol and other aroma chemicals that are oud-like. I don't know, but what I do know is that the combination of these tart, crisp, green apples with the very warm cinnamon labdanum combo and that oudy cypriol oil opening is really, really good. And I think what really ties the fragrance together is this lovely thread, no pun intended, of saffron running throughout the life of the fragrance that just goes so well with the cypriol and the apple and the cinnamon. This is something that I really enjoy. It's become quite a compliment magnet for me, and then I'm surprised if I don't get a compliment wearing this one. And I haven't come across anyone else ever wearing this fragrance. So even though it's a Hugo Boss scent, it's fairly unique. Not a lot of people are up on this. I don't know if it was available at department stores in the United States. It might have been a Middle Eastern play. I'm not exactly sure. It's very good. It's not super complex, but it's well blended and it's really well done. Performance is good. It's not great. It's 6 to 8 hours, projects for about 4. After a couple of hours, this does kind of turn a little bit back into Boss Bottle with that saffron running through it, but it's enjoyable for the length of the ride. It kind of fades into an accord of warm cinnamon and labdanum on a bed of sandalwood with faint saffron once that apple and oud dies out. I would say this is definitely unisex, but I think it's better suited for a man. And for me, this one ideally is fall or winter, dressed up, hanging out with friends, maybe at a nice dinner or out at an upscale cocktail lounge. And it could translate very nicely to a date night scent as well. And I can also see this one serving its purpose very well during the holidays. If you're looking for this and you can't get your hands on it or want something else like it, there's not much, guys. This one's unique. Boss Bottled smells like this, but this is Boss Bottled Plus. Really, that's it. Apple and oud is fairly unique. Now, Oud Mazing by Montal sort of has that mixed fruit with oud thing going on, and I know there are other fruity oud scents out there, but I find the tartness of the green apple with the oud to be really unique in this one. It's kind of in its own zone, and you guys know I don't say that a lot. If someone were trying to talk you into purchasing this fragrance, I think they'd tell you that it's unique, it's pretty daring for a designer fragrance, and it's classy and understated. And those are two things that are nice in a fragrance under $50, classy and understated. Now, if someone were trying to talk you into passing on this one, they might say, if you're not a fan of cypriot oil and saffron, you're not going to like this one. There are a lot of people who I could see preferring the original to this. It might just be a little bit too far Middle Eastern for them. I don't think so. I wish they'd gone a little bit further, to be honest. Now, I really enjoy this fragrance. I don't know that I'll actually purchase Boss Bottle, since I think I have this one. I think this is really good. I think it's really classy. It's different from what's on the shelves at department stores. It's a pretty good performer. It's widely available, at least online, and it's affordable. I'm going to give Boss Bottled Oud an 8 out of 10. I personally, I always try to think, well, what could it have done to be a 10 out of 10? And I would have liked the oud to have been a little bit more prominent. I would have liked a little bit skankier oud in this. I'm sure that's not something Cody was interested in, but I would have liked that. And I would have appreciated an EDP formulation for a fragrance like this, but I still think that Cody did a really good job. This is a nice release and very much under the radar, so you could wear it and kind of feel confident you're going to stand out. So guys, that is my review of Boss Bottled Oud. I hope you have enjoyed this review. I'd love to know if any of you have smelled this and what you think of it. Please leave a comment, and I'll see you guys later next week with more videos. Guys, you already know what it is. My name, obviously, is Maximilian, and I must know.
Most of my niggas are getting rich by breaking the law, going through bandit wars, suiting the pain up with alcohol, living a criminal tradition of organized crime and cooking minds, playing with nickels and dimes and net millions. Civilians are still snitching.